My best deaf awareness tips are sitting directly in front of the light so that your face is clearer to see.
What's the plan for Tuesday? What's the plan for Tuesday? My top deaf awareness tip is to always get a deaf person's attention before talking to them. Don't you laugh at us.
My deaf awareness top tips are: don't exaggerate your facial expressions or mumble. Please speak normally.
Don't assume that because a deaf person can speak well, that means they can hear well.
Find out their preferred communication support, like a sign language interpreter, note taker, palantypist, lip speaker, or captions.
My deaf awareness top tip is to turn on the subtitles.
If deaf children have a cochlear implant or hearing aids, please don't stare at them or point at them. It will affect their confidence.
Every deaf person should be included in conversations, especially when there are a group of people around.
British Sign Language signs are regional. This means it's different in lots of places. For example, numbers. In the north, number 6 is signed like this, whereas in the south, 6 is signed like this.
Don't worry about how to communicate, just communicate.
My deaf awareness top tip is to be face-to-face so it's easier to lip read.
Sign languages are different all over the world, just as spoken languages are. So find out what language your deaf friend speaks before you start communicating.
When using written communication, keep it short, simple, and in plain English.
My top deaf awareness tip is, if a deaf person ever asks you, what did that person just say? Never reply, oh, it wasn't important.
Try a little bit of BSL in your conversations. Just give it a go. And if you don't know the sign, maybe to start the word with the first letter.
My deaf awareness top tip would always be ask what their preferred method of communication is.
My deaf awareness top tip is always keep your hands away from your mouth when speaking.
My deaf awareness top tip is to remember to speak normally and not over-exaggerate your lip patterns when somebody is trying to lip read what you're saying.
My deaf awareness top tip is to always remember to use facial expression when signing.
When you talk or have a conversation with a deaf person, it's important to be patient. Take your time. Write down notes to each other, or even write notes on your phone to communicate, or allow them to lip read you. Just take your time. And also don't feel embarrassed or panic. Just be natural and it will go smoothly. My top deaf awareness tip is:
Danielle! Danielle!
never shout behind a deaf person.
My deaf awareness top tip is everyone's needs are slightly different. Don't make assumptions.
If you want to use abbreviations, clarify each word first.
In a meeting, make sure everybody takes turns to speak. Speak one at a time. And if necessary, raise your hand.
My deaf awareness top tip is to remember to offer deaf people and their communication support a break.
My deaf awareness top tip is to remember there are lots of different ways to communicate. If you're struggling, you can always write something down on a piece of paper or type it out on your phone.